Welcome back to Popcorn Paparazzi, where each week we tell you if a movie is worth the trek to the theater for or stay home cozied up at home.
Or in today's case, maybe you should spend the money because Thunderbolts has officially landed in theaters after what might be the MCU's messiest behind the scenes journey yet.
We're talking casting changes, rewrites, strike delays, and yes, the never ending is Harrison Ford in this movie debate.
Spoiler alert, he isn't.
Okay, the filming was supposed to start in mid 2023, but the Hollywood strikes hit production like Bucky Barnes' uppercut. Stan was mid Trump transformation for The Apprentice. David Harbour was juggling Hopper duties in Stranger Things, and Marvel was juggling basically everything else.
When cameras finally rolled in early 2024 under the truly unhinged working title, Oops, All Berries, the crew jumped from Atlanta to the Utah desert to the skyscrapers of Kuala Lumpur.
Florence Pugh even lobbied to do her own stunt off Merdeka 118, and Marvel eventually caved. And now, after all the delays and drama, Thunderbolts is here.
But the real question is, was the chaos worth it?
Let's just say Cassie and I did not walk out of this one on the same page. The trailer promised a darker, character driven take on Marvel's usual formula, a team of damaged misfits dealing with moral gray zones. But for me, while there were flashes of that, the film didn't quite follow through and it hinted at depth, but ended up kind of skimming the surface.
I actually thought the trailer was a fair reflection of what we got. It delivered the action, the signature Marvel wit, and even tried something different with its tone, and I was not disappointed. Let's talk casting. Florence Pugh is once again the emotional core of the film. Yelena is layered, grounded, and delivers every time. And I had to give it to Lewis Pullman as Bob. He's awkward, vulnerability somehow worked.
Listen, Pugh was fantastic, but the rest I had mixed feelings about. Red Guardian felt like a caricature. He felt like Groot from Despicable Me. I don't know. I couldn't get into him. I hadn't seen him from the previous movie, so I wasn't familiar with his character. So that's on me. And I felt like Winter Soldier could have literally been a cardboard cutout in the background of this entire film and just been moved around from scene to scene. He was super underwhelming. The wig, the acting, I don't know, didn't do it for me.
I feel you on that one.
Getting into kind of the meat of this movie, what worked, what didn't, did we have any moments where we were like, what? I can't believe that. I would say for me, the action, I think it's going to hit. People are going to enjoy it. I liked Florence Pugh doing her scenes. All those choreographed fight scenes were really impressive. That definitely was, they were clean, they were intense, they were stylish. I really appreciated those. If I'm picking what I did not like about this film, there were a few things, but I will say at the top of my list was poor Winter Soldier. I'm sorry. I don't know what the presence of this guy in the movie for me just did not work. He was so emotionally like vacant. Like there was nothing coming from this guy. And I don't know if that is his character, because again, I'm coming to you guys today telling you what this movie experience is like for someone who is not a Marvel fan. So if you are one and you're watching this, you're probably like, you're so stupid. Like he was so great, but sorry, there's a bug flying in my face. But for me, he did not work in this film, and I did not appreciate the character very much. And honestly, I was like, wait, what? When Bob. So we have Bob, right? And
Yes,
that's such a great name for this
it is.
guy. I
Yes,
mean, I kept thinking, what about Bob? Like that's the energy he was giving. And if you guys
truly.
were born in the 90s, you guys will know the reference. What about Bob with Bill Murray? So Bob becomes the Sentry, which is his superhero alter ego. And he walks down these stairs and he's in this gold suit, right? With his blonde hair. And then a few minutes later, he jumps into the void, which is like where everyone's most tragic moments from their life live. And then he gets out of the void. And where's his suit? Where's his blonde hair? It's gone. It's missing. Weird. I thought that was weird. Did you?
I think it's with the Void because the Void was the alter ego and the Void has the suit.
The Void has the suit.
The Void has the suit.
I'd say I didn't expect the villain arc for the film to be so dark, but I enjoyed that. I liked the depth of that concept. I liked where they were trying to go with Bob and the character and the villain. And Lewis Pullman did a great job playing Bob, but we didn't get into any of that really interesting material until about 20 minutes left in the movie, which I thought most of the movie was just kind of like predictable fight, this, that. Like it wasn't anything over the top for me. And in the end, the fact that for the most part, Bob is like this lost dog. He's just like constantly in the film, like looking around. He's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. And then he becomes like a crazy, powerful superhero that then goes evil and then just gets brought back by a security blanket. I don't know. Eh.
Eh.
Mm.
For me, the low was the Century fight. So the CGI, I feel like was so rough, and the perspective of the characters that he was throwing around, it
Mm-hmm.
just seemed off.
Yeah.
But I will say that the high was seeing these characters actually come together. And I think that worked. It gave the movie an emotional anchor. These aren't clean cut heroes. They're fractured people trying to figure out who they are and where they belong. That's more interesting than watching perfect people save the world.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. But I'm curious to find out what, after this, is your final verdict. What do you think? Are our listeners going to the theater or are they staying home?
I'm giving it 4 buckets of popcorn. It's not perfect, but it's bold, it's layered, and it's doing something fresh with familiar characters. If you're a Marvel fan, it's definitely worth seeing on the big screen.
And what would you say is the perfect popcorn pairing with this movie?
Well, for me, I had to go to the movie theater straight from work. So this was also my dinner. So I had the famous movie theater Pizza Hut pizza, and it was delicious. It kept me full and I was entertained.
Satisfied. Very nice.
Nothing better. What about you?
All cheese or pepperoni?
Pepperoni,
Obviously. You're not an
obviously.
animal. Duh.
No. What about you? What are you giving this?
Okay. Listen, this could make or break us, but
I'm already feeling it already. I'm feeling the rip.
I'm giving it 2.5 buckets of popcorn. I'm sorry.
Oh, bitch.
I'm sorry. It had its moments, but it just never fully delivered for me. Pew shines. The villain arc is intriguing, but the ensemble felt uneven and the runtime dragged for me. It was long and it felt long. I mean, we just watched Sinners last week. It was almost the same amount of time.
Yeah.
I didn't even blink, like I didn't even bat an eye when I saw Sinners.
Honestly, neither did, yeah,
You
neither
know,
did
I
I.
can't. So for me, this one is a skip at the theater, stream it at home.
And what's your popcorn pairing?
Well, I also indulged. I had, which it's been a long time since I've gotten the nachos cheese with the delicious Slurpee. Oh my God, it was the best part of the movie. So yeah,
And I have to say that there's something about movie theater food, whether it's pizza or nachos, they just hit different.
they really do. So delicious.
Yes.
And there you have it, our rare cinematic standoff. Whether you're Team Cassie or Team Sarah, we hope we gave you something to think about before you go and buy those tickets.
Next week, we're trading in super suits for stilettos in Ugly Stepsister, a Norwegian horror comedy that reimagines Cinderella through the eyes of her very unhinged sibling.
It's twisted, it's gory, with revenge fantasies, beauty standards, and a body count.
That's it from us today. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more reviews, and let us know in the comments, did Thunderbolts deliver for you?
And for more in depth discussion on today's movie, head over to our podcast. And until then, enjoy the movies, everyone.